Welcome to part 1 of making the 48-inch round walnut table. We take a detailed look at what it took to make this from rough 8/4 material. We hope you enjoy it. Hello everyone, we're in the shop today. We're doing a 48-inch round table. We have 8/4 stock here, 98-inch lengths. Hopefully our final thickness will be between 1 5/8 inch and 3/4 maybe. We got a leg set that's going to get mortised into the underside. Haven't figured out what finish is yet, but stick around and watch what we do. So we're just under 98 inches. We're going to split it right down the middle. Okay, we have our rough lumber cut to more manageable sizes, and now we're going to joint the boards. There's multiple ways to do this, but what we do here is we always join a face first. We'll have it so the crown is up or frowning. We'll joint that face. Once that face is completely flat, then we will reference that off our joiner fence to clean up one edge. You may have seen us do this before, but we like to test for how flat our joiner work is, so we put it on this table. Nice solid hit, no wobble. This still has a little bit of a wobble to it, so we're going to run another pass through it. Flatness, it's right on. Okay, all our material now has one jointed face and one jointed edge that are perpendicular to each other. Next step is we're going to clean the other face through our planer. The widths vary, so we're going to start probably at about 2 inches or so and then just work our way down until we get a common value amongst all the pieces. Trying to keep it as thick as possible. You've seen me play with the adjustments on this. I'm trying to maximize the least amount of material we could take off. So at the beginning of each board I would take a little more off, and then as I got more wood off of it, we took less off on each pass. Several years ago we outfitted our Delta 20-inch RC51 planer with a Wixie height gauge. It's been great. Also, you can't see it, but we have a bird tooling 20-inch Shelix head in the planer. Same types of Shelix head on the joiner as well from Bird Tooling. Been very happy with it. It's an investment, but well worth it. Okay, so as you can see, some of the pieces grazed more than the others. I don't like to start too heavy and make the cutter work overtime. So then the next pass, be a little deeper, take off a little more material. I'm going to lower this down, or I should say raise the table. Probably a heavy 16th or so. Maybe a little more. Give that a pass. Alright, so check it out. Second pass, we still have some rough wood left behind. We're going to do one more pass on the planer, and that will be it. I'm not trying to get it exactly perfect, because we're actually going to deck down the whole glued up assembly on the CNC, and that will get our final thickness. We want to just get these clean enough for a nice good glue up. Alright, here's after 3 passes on the walnut. As you can see, we still got some rough spots. Like I mentioned earlier, that will get taken out when we surface it on the CNC. You can never go wrong with walnut. Always a great looking wood. Just leave it natural. Looks like we got some blonde streaks. We'll see once our material's final size how we're going to deal with that. Maybe we'll cut it out, maybe we'll leave it. I don't know, but so far looking great. The knots will do some epoxy filling, probably with some tints, but otherwise going real well. Now we're going to go to the table saw and start sizing it up on the widths. Rough measurement, and let's go with 6 3/4 on this. Unfortunately, we have this tear out, so we got to get rid of most of it. We're doing a rough layout. We cut just a piece of cardboard with a 48-inch diameter, kind of mimic the tabletop footprint. Now we're playing with the different widths we have, imperfections in the boards. You might be wondering what this piece is for. Well, we had these pieces, and when they were at their rough size, they added up to over 48 inches. But when you clean them up, you lose material, and this typically happens. So now we were under 48 inches with these 7 pieces. So we got another piece of walnut here. We're gonna mill it up, clean it up, and we'll add it to the side. Right now, we're just gonna swap some boards around to make this layout a little better. Alright, that looks looks a little better. We have tear out on this corner, that's why it's marked. I'm a big fan of using this sidewalk chalk to mark the boards up, witness marks, whatever you need. Never interferes with the finish, works out great. We put our lengths and our widths in sidewalk chalk, just so I can reference them. You can see we have some thickness variance here, but overall, all the boards are in plane. And this will all get cleaned up when we surface it on the CNC. So we got this long board at the center. Let's see what our template looks like. I'm about a ½ inch crowd over here from the boards that are flanking the long piece, and a little greater over here. This piece needs to go more like that. So that it has coverage on both ends. And we should probably shift this over a little so we're not so close to the edge. I'm about 3/8 off of this edge. We're cutting it pretty close here. We need to make sure that when we cut this diameter on the CNC that we have this just right, or else we might run off and then we'll be making a smaller table. But overall that works. Let's look at the boards and see if we have anything we don't like that we want in the field or we want to disappear. Trying to maximize the thickness as well. So let's try this. This recess here we'll put on the outside edge to maximize more thickness in the field. I think it's still going to be in the diameter though. Not as much. This template definitely helps out, makes it a lot easier. We have a longer piece of walnut over here that we might use just so we're not cutting it so close. Yeah, we have something quite a bit longer. We might use that, just requires it to mill it down a little more because it's 12/4. Alright, let's mark this out a little bit. See what it looks like. Also with this template and these witness marks, it'll help us to locate our dominoes so that we don't put dominoes right on the edge, and then when we machine the diameter, the dominoes are exposed. That's the other reason for this template. Overall, I'm happy with it. I think we're going to move this one to the outside though. See if we could eliminate this issue we're having here. It's also nice about the sidewalk chalk is that you just take a wet cloth and wipe out the marks very easily. And that's not going to work because we have this issue here. So it's a puzzle. We need to figure it out. Okay, here's the final layout. We have it all figured out. This is the top side. The bottom pieces have a lot of sapwood or blonde wood in them, so we're going to make that on the bottom. We are going to put dominoes in for lining up the faces, but being that we jointed the bottom face, we're going to reference the domino of the bottom face. So we have to be able to put witness marks on this so that we can flip it upside down and be able to properly put the dominoes in and not interfere with the diameter cut. So that's what we'll do now. And then we should be ready for flipping the pieces and putting the dominoes in. Okay, take a look at the underside. Big difference in sapwood and heartwood. This is the exact reason we're putting this on the bottom. Just too much sap. The dominoes are laid out. Next step is start machining the dominoes, and then we'll probably do 2 glue ups initially of 4 boards and 3, and then we'll do the final glue up. Just so we're not rushing and we don't have to worry about the open time of the glue. So you might be wondering, with all the sapwood down, are we alternating our boards with the way the rings are running? And the question is, on some of them yes, and on some of them we're not, just because of how much sapwood is in here and we don't want it on the top. But what's going to work to our advantage is that we do have a steel leg configuration that's going to get mounted to the bottom, and that will help counter any cupping that might occur due to not alternating the rings of the boards.
Thank you for watching part 1 of a 3-part video series for making the 48-inch round walnut table. If you enjoyed this, please hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for part 2.